Tutoriales de gramática.
Grammar tutorials.
Oraciones condicionales.
Conditional sentences. What is a conditional sentence? With a conditional sentence, we can express varying degrees of probability and even situations that are contrary to fact. To achieve that, we choose different moods and tenses of verbs.
Si mañana hace sol, vamos a la playa.
If it's sunny tomorrow, we will go to the beach.
Si hiciera sol, iríamos a la playa.
If it were sunny, we would go to the beach.
Si hubiera hecho sol, habríamos ido a la playa.
If it had been sunny, we would have gone to the beach. To express a condition that is highly likely in the present or the future, or to express a condition that is required in order to carry out a command, we use si plus the present indicative.
Si encuentro manzanas, esta tarde hago una torta.
If I find any apples, this afternoon I will make a cake. In this case, the consequence is expressed in the present tense, but it refers to the future.
Si encuentra manzanas, Lucas va a hacer una torta. Si encuentra manzanas, Lucas hará una torta.
If he finds any apples, Lucas is going to or will make a cake. In this case, the consequence is expressed with ir, a, plus infinitive, or with the future tense.
Si encuentras manzanas, hazme una torta, por favor.
If you find apples, make me a cake, please. In this case, the consequence is a command. To express a condition about the present or the future that is unlikely, hypothetical, or even contrary to fact, we use si plus the imperfect subjunctive. In the consequence, it is typical to use the conditional verb form.
Si hiciera sol, iríamos a la playa.
If it were sunny, we would go to the beach.
Si ganara la lotería, me compraría un barco.
If I were to win the lottery, I would buy a boat.
Si yo fuera un animal, me gustaría ser un león.
If I were an animal, I would like to be a lion. When in English you would say, if I could, if I were, or if I had, these clauses would be expressed in Spanish as
Si pudiera, si fuera, si tuviera.
To express a condition about the past, we use si plus the past perfect subjunctive.
Si hubiera estudiado arquitectura, habría diseñado mi propia casa.
If I had studied architecture, I would have designed my own house. When we refer to past events that never happened, the conditions are by definition impossible. When someone says, if I had studied architecture, that means that they did not study architecture. When the consequence also takes place in the past, it is conjugated in the conditional perfect, compound conditional, verb form.
Si hubiera estudiado arquitectura, habría diseñado mi propia casa.
It can also be conjugated in the past perfect subjunctive.
Si hubiera estudiado arquitectura, hubiera diseñado mi propia casa.
If I had studied architecture, I would have designed my own house. Please note that in many Spanish-speaking areas, both possibilities are used without any change in meaning. If the consequence takes place in the present, however, it is conjugated in the conditional form.
Si hubiera estudiado medicina, ahora sería médico.
If I had studied medicine, I would be a doctor now. Remember that in English, past conditions are expressed in the past perfect. But in Spanish, the past perfect subjunctive is used.
Si hubiera estudiado medicina.
Please note that you can often invert the order of the clauses and identify the consequence before the condition. In this case, you don't need a comma to separate both parts of the conditional sentence.
Iríamos a la playa si hiciera sol. Lucas va a hacer una torta si encuentra manzanas.
The conditional perfect forms. The conditional perfect, or compound conditional, is formed with the conditional of the verb haber, plus the past participle of the verb we wish to conjugate.
Yo habría hablado. Tú, vos, habrías hablado. Él, ella, usted habría hablado. Nosotros, nosotras habríamos hablado. Vosotros, vosotras habríais hablado. Ellos, ellas, ustedes habrían hablado.